Okay, Mark, you said, go.
Did y'all know that Mississippi is the only state in the country to receive an F for average student scores, and they were voted less likely to succeed? Our state schools are ranked at the bottom of the ladder. As a recent graduate, I felt like I was behind the curve in college, and there was a disconnect between what seniors learn and what's expected of college freshmen. Because of this, I did a little digging, and what I learned shocked me. So I'm going to share it with y'all. I'm going to discuss students' learning, state testing, and funding. Mississippi has the lowest score in the country. We scored 57.1 average scores for students, which is embarrassing. And 4 out of 100 students are likely to receive a high score on a test, unlike the rest of the country, which is nearly 25 out of 100. To aid these embarrassing test scores, Senate voted to pass the College Readiness Bill, which would erase Common Core, but ultimately was vetoed by Governor Bryant. There's a 75% graduation rate, which is 6% lower than the country's average. And Common Core is an overly complicated way of teaching students how to do simple math that you learned in your early years. A math problem that is easily memorized is broken down into 6 or more steps to solve a 2-number equation. Parents are encouraged not to help with the homework because they don't know Common Core. And Common Core is also based around sameness, and it factors out individuality. It takes out AP classes and puts all students, no matter what learning range or ability level, on the same level of learning. I went to the top district in the state, and however, I feel that administrators did a large injustice to students to maintain their status as the top. Upon entering college and somewhat of the real world, I realized that there was so much that I was unprepared for, and I had no idea what was going on. And standardized testing has gone way too far. Students spend 257.6 hours testing throughout their school life, starting at K4. They spend an additional 30 hours aside from testing, preparing for the tests a year. That's not bad, right? Well, on an AB schedule, there's only 90 class periods per subject per year. That's an hour and a half per subject. Students are also required to take up to 112.4 standardized tests throughout school. Mississippi scored much lower on these tests compared to the surrounding states. Students aren't taught and don't have time to learn aside from the tests. You aren't taught how to write an outline or an essay more than maybe 300 words. We were taught how to pass a test, and sadly, if you were bad at the tests, you're dumb. We were taught for the next wave of tests and not how to become adults or how to move on to college or even how to learn, study skills, anything. It was just testing. We weren't taught time management, money management. We weren't taught how to write an essay, how to interview for a job. We weren't taught how to thrive in the world. We weren't taught individuality. We weren't taught how to think for ourselves. We weren't taught how to care for our minds, body, or well-being. And most importantly, they didn't teach you to succeed. However, I do know how to pass a test. And this test that I'm passing may be my future. I was taught that it didn't matter how smart I was, if I was bad on these tests, I was dumb. I was taught that stressful and timed tests are my ticket to being successful. My final reason for change is funding. All over the country, 3.6% of tax dollars are going to public school systems. However, in Mississippi, due to poverty, that's nearly $2 billion less per year than surrounding states. On the other hand of that, Brandon High School, where I graduated, is severely overcrowded and is in need of new facilities to better teach students and to house teachers. But last year, ground broke on a brand new state-of-the-art stadium for $9.7 million to replace the perfectly intact one that we currently have. So now, after stating my cause, I hope you can see that we are in need of some serious changes in the school systems of Mississippi. Schools should teach students how to move on to bigger and better things, and how to succeed, and how to be thriving adults, instead of pointless ways to solve simple math or how to pass the next wave of tests. Something needs to be done to better prepare students for the future. Thank you.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I know. If you would be still, you'd be in 100. No, that's not mine. That was in the teacher statement. I didn't say that.
I do the same
Just
thing.
ways back and forth.
I'd have them right in front of my face where you couldn't see my
No.
face.
And we did it in one take. Oh, you want me to turn this off?
Kind of stuttered at the start.
It's okay. She did it.
So, you know how we're supposed to write, like,
How do I turn it off?
I mean, more speeches.